everybody, thank you for joining me today. I'm Lee from thecraftyspark.co.uk and today I have got a card for you. Now, it's not very often I do cards on my videos. I tend to usually do sort of 3D things on my videos, but today I thought I'd show you how to make this lovely card. Isn't it pretty? Now, it's made using this stamp set, Garden in Bloom. Now, this is a staged stamp set, or a 2-step or a 3-step. So staged as in a couple of steps, because as you can see, nicely stained. Never mind, sorry about that. But what happens with this stamp set is you stamp a couple of times to get the right effect. Let me show you how to do it. Right, we are going to start off. Whoops, where should I put that? I'll put that there for the minute. I have got a piece of basic grey, oh, excuse me, basic grey cardstock, and I've cut this to measure 10 inches by 7 inches. I'm going to bring in my Simply scoreboard and score it at 5. So we have a card base now that is 7 by 5. Okay, let me just, where's my bone folder gone? Let me just burnish that off a little bit with my nice ink stained bone folder as well. You never guess I've been using permanent ink lately, would you? Right, so that's our card base. This is what we're going to be beginning with. So put that to one side for the minute because you won't need it just yet. Bring in another piece of card. Now, this is Whisper White card, and this measures 6 by 4. I don't know if you could see that down there. That's my grid paper with all my measurements on around the edges. Very useful, but it's 6 inches by 4 inches. All right. Now, we are going to begin by using this one. Oops. And we're also going to use the leaves, which is that one. Actually, I'll leave it in there because I'll end up sticking it to something and losing it. So that's the one we're going to begin with. So I'm going to put that on one of my D blocks. And as you can see on here, it's got like a pointed bit in the middle with the actual stamp. That might be a better way to see it. Where it's not actually got the raised edge on to make the stamp. That is your lining up point. If you look on the stamp set, you see it's got that little arrow bit. That's where you line up so that you know when you put your next stamp over the top, you're going to be in the right place. So I am going to put mine with my arrow at the top so that I know where it is. And I'm going to start off with Melon Mambo ink. So I'm just rearranging my workspace so that I can see what I'm actually doing. So we're going to start with Melon Mambo, and to begin with I'm just going to stamp 2 flowers. So a couple of taps on your ink pad to load it up. If you get ink anywhere but the lines, like you may see I've got there a couple of bit of extra bits, keep some cotton buds handy and then you can just wipe it off. I mean, it may actually come out perfectly okay, but just in case, easier just to wipe it off. Doesn't take 2 minutes. Right, so the first one is going to be stamped on the right hand side, and I'm going about 1 inch from the bottom and 1 inch from the side ish, maybe slightly more, I suppose, about there. Hold it on just for a few seconds to let that ink absorb into the card, because this is photopolymer, and the photopolymer stamps hold the ink very well, but you just want to make sure it releases from the photopolymer, goes onto the card. So 1 stamp, and then we're going to do the same thing again. So a couple of taps, check it's not inked up where it shouldn't be. But this time, instead of having my arrow going upwards, my arrow is going to go to the left. And I'm actually going to position it so that I can interlock a couple of those petals with the flower that I've already done. So I'm actually going down slightly and across, and that is how I'm lining up my second one. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's cover that up before I stick my hands in it. And bringing in another D block. This time I'm going to be using the solid one, this one. Again with the arrow on it so I can see where I'm doing it. And I'm going to do the same thing again. So I'm going to put my arrow at the top. And I'm going to use Pink Pirouette this time. Now this is a kind of watercolour effect, so you won't get full coverage on your stamp. That's how it's supposed to be. Don't panic and think, oh, the stamp's not working because I can't get the full image, whoops, the full image stamped. It's fine, it's not supposed to. Pop it on top, keep the arrow where you were last time, and just put it down nice and gently. Hold it there for a few seconds, let that ink absorb, and lift off. Now can you see where the ink has gone on some bits and not on the other bits? That's entirely what you want it to do. Alright, so we'll do the same thing again. A couple of stamps. This time turn it to the left. Oops, there's a bit of fluff on that one. Move that out of there. And same thing. So line it up on top. Just place it down and take it off. Alright, can you see that lovely watercolour effect? So you've got sort of a very mottly kind of image going on there. Looks quite pretty, I think, don't you? Now, back to our Melon Mambo. And this time we're using this strange looking thing, which is actually the middle of the flower. Where's my block? There we go. I'll stick it on that one. What's this one? This is a C block. Open up my ink again. Whoops. Nearly took the lid off there. Right, so I haven't put that on very well. Can you see I've actually put my arrow slightly that way? That's going to mess me right up, isn't it? And I've got fluff on my stamp. Cool. Yeah, I should have cleaned it before I started, shouldn't I? Right, let's do that again. Okay, that's better. Now I've got my arrows in the right places. So same as before, ink it up. Same as before. I've got a bit in the wrong place. Let's get that off of there. Right. And we're going to pop it on and we're going to just line it up with the arrow going upwards as before. Get it in those petals and just stamp it down. And then again, turning it round. Lining up. Where am I lining up to? There? Is that it? That's about it, isn't it? Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. There we go. All right. And we've done those ones. Now, I'm also going to use just a little bit of Hello Honey on the middle, that sort of blobby bit there. That's actually the little bee's body that I'm using now. All right. And I'm going to stamp off first because I want this one just to be very subtle. You see, I did try doing it with So Saffron ink, but that was a bit too subtle. It didn't quite have the depth to the colour. It looked a bit wishy-washy. So I'm using the Hello Honey one. There's a bit of scrappy paper. Oh, there's a bit over there. So just tap it on, stamp off. Now pop it on, wiggle it about just a little bit. All right, because you just want a bit of colour there. You're not actually aiming to get that whole image going as such. You just want a small amount of colour, just put in the middle, just to sort of set it off a bit. Right, it's finished with that one. Now we are going to bring in our old olive and some leaves. So we're going to go for these leaves, the larger leaves, which are going again on a C block. Been very good today, aren't I? I'm telling you all the blocks and everything. Get me. Being all fancy pantsy. Right, ink up your stamp. Now with your leaves, you're just really going to put them random. No set pattern, no set order. Just sort of think about a plant and think about, you know, if this was actually a plant, where would the leaves be going? Where would they aim? Well, generally in between petals, so that gives you a start of where you want to go for. But you will also get the odd one or two here, won't you? So when you're stamping, think about that part of it as well, because that will also to help you think where to place them. All right, so I'm not going in between every single petal. I'm just going a bit random. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to grab a baby wipe, because let me just clean this stamp off. What I want to do is that's not how you clean a stamp, by the way. You use a proper stamping scrub, but never mind. What I want to do is I just want to use one of these leaves. Now there's a couple of ways of doing this. You can either be very careful when you ink up to make sure you're only inking up the one leaf. You can put some washi tape over it to cover one of the leaves up, or you can stamp the whole thing and wipe it off. How you do it really is up to you. I personally like to do it so I just put my stamp on the edge, because I just find that's easy. Wipe off any little bit that's left over, and then just position your stamp and pop it in. All right, you see it's a little bit splodgy there. That's because there was a bit of water left on the stamp. Doesn't matter though, looks quite cute, doesn't it? I think that's one of the good things about this stamp set, because it's like a watercolour effect stamp set. When you do make little mistakes like that, it doesn't really matter. Just sort of adds to the whole effect more than anything else. Right, stamp up again. Whoops. So you've done it again. I suppose the sensible thing would be to use one of the cotton buds, wouldn't it? I don't do sensible very well. I do just stick your finger in it and wipe your hands down your trousers kind of thing. Where shall I put this one? I want one sort of at the bottom. I think I'll go there with that one. Yeah, that's good. You could actually go off your page, whichever you fancied really. Do you know what? I think I might put a couple there as well. Shall I? Or shall I? No, I'll leave that. On the other one I did actually put more into the corner, but I think I'll leave it because I quite like it like that. Right, so let's get rid of that one. And now we are going to get, where have I put it? Because I haven't got it out my rack. Pear Pizzazz. I want that block back. I've got another block somewhere and I can't find it. I don't know what I've done with it. Never mind. I'll clean that one up in a minute. Right, for the last one then, we're going to be using this one. And this is going to fill in or colour in our leaves that we've just done. So couple of taps on your ink pad. Now remember, it's watercolour, so it doesn't matter if there are little bits missing. Just adds to the whole design that you're doing on your card. So just make sure you're lining it up before you're putting your stamp down. Whoops. So even that one's gone a little bit off, but that's fine. It's fine, it's fine. And I think as well, as somebody said to me once before, what you're doing is a handmade card, aren't you? You're not doing a factory generated card. So if your card is slightly different, surely that makes it better, because it means it's original all the way and people can tell it is definitely handmade. It's a bit like the cards the kiddies do, isn't it? You know, when your kids bring cards home from school, they're so obviously not made in a factory. Love them. I got some great cards the other day from one of my little boys. It was really cute. I have to show you when I remember. I won't get it now though, because I've got too much going on at the minute. Right, back to our card. Now, the sentiment that I used on my other card, Happy Birthday, that is from Lovely and Organised here. Cottage Greetings. It's from this stamp set. Now this is actually one of the stamp set that goes with one of our card kits, but you can buy it on its own, and it is a really nice set just to have by itself. You're amazing, I'd be lost, hope your day's wonderful, wishing you a ridiculous amount of happiness, and then you've also got congrats, happy birthday, and thanks. Quite a few different ones. Now I am going to Do you know what? I think for this one I'm going to do thanks. So I've got a happy birthday one. So let's do the thanks one. There we go. Let's use that one. Does that go on one of the small blocks? Oh, it does. Look, I should have guessed that really, shouldn't I? Right, block G, guys. Block G. Now, we do have a really, really lovely basic grey ink pad. I can't remember what it was called then. It's definitely an ink pad. However, I haven't got it yet. So I'm just going to use this one instead. And I'm just going to pop my thanks. I think I'll do it at an angle actually. Good tip when you're making cards. Do things at an angle and then nobody knows whether they're supposed to be straight or not, do they? Easy way out of everything. And I do like easy. Makes life so much better. There you go. Look, that's quite cute, isn't it? Just a little thanks, simple, in the corner. Now, to put it onto the card base, which is... Dun, dun, dun. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? I've lost the card base. There it is. We are going to use dimensionals. Oh man, they're in my drawer, and my drawer is attached to the camera. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I just had to unplug the camera then because I had it plugged in, and if I'd left it plugged in I would have opened the drawer and yanked the camera off screen. I'm trying to find my dimensionals. I can't find them. Which isn't a surprise really. If you saw the state of my desk you'd understand. Actually, would you like to see the state of my desk? I'm always going on about the state of my desk. Let me show you. Are you ready? Bit of a mess. Oh, sorry, that was the tripod. Da, 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 da. It's terrible, isn't it? Ah, there you go. 2 seconds in the life of the Crafty Sparks desk. Right, let's get some more dimensionals. Hang on a minute. I've just got to get them out of my trolley. There we go. I have dimensionals. These are great, these are. I like using these. It just makes your cards pop out just a little bit better. Makes it really effective. So we're just going to put some on the back of the card. Now, something you may find when you're using dimensionals and you're trying to line a card up, layer onto a card, it can be a bit tricky. So what I would suggest is take off 2, but leave the other 3 on. All right. Then, with the end that hasn't got them on, line that up on your card. Is that about even? Bit tricky to see actually from my angle. You probably see it a lot better from your angle. Actually, let me stand up and I can look in the camera then, can't I? Oh no, not quite. There we go. That's better, isn't it? Right. So now I can put my other end down, which is going to stick. Then lift off. Pull off my backings. If you hold that card carefully, you won't bend the middle of it. There we go. Ta-da! And it is stuck in the right place, just as we wanted. Right. Enough about that. Okay, let's do the middle of the card now. Now, for the middle, is that the right piece? Yeah, that's the right piece. Because it's basic grey, it's obviously quite dark. So I've cut a second piece of card that measures 6 3/4 by 4 3/4, and this is going in the middle like so. Can you see? So I've got a very, very slight border going around the outside, but that looks far too plain, doesn't it? Yes, of course it does. So we're going to jazz it up a little bit. We're going to duplicate the pattern, but not quite. Yeah, right, that made a load of sense, that, didn't it? Okay. Oh dear, don't you just love crafting. I'm just trying to find some scratch paper. There we go. I could use this as scratch paper, my grid paper, but because I'm actually, oh my goodness, next door started drilling. I hope you can't hear that, it's really loud. What was I saying? I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh yeah, I'm doing a couple of videos today, so I don't want to get my scratch paper too messy just yet. Right, that's what I was trying to get at. They threw me off. Okay, so let's go back to this. Now, I'm going to do this one slightly differently in that I'm going to use the other flowers. So we've used the big flowers. Now I'm going to use the smaller flowers. So I'm going to do the same principle. I'm going to start off with the outline. I'm going to pop it on my stamp. And I'm going to do the same thing as before. So I'm going to stamp 2 flowers. I'm going to turn my stamp. But this time I'm not going too close to it. Well, you can't line them up because they don't sort of go into each other, do they? Because they're too small. Right, so that's those ones. I'm then going to use, as before, I need to get some more A blocks really. I'll do that on my next order. Right, pink pirouette, just like last time. Line it up. Excellent, now they're banging next door as well. Ah, the joys, the joys. Right, okay, now we're going to do our little ones in the middle. So this is going to add the kind of 3D effect. So this is why it's useful to have lots of blocks, because then you don't have to keep changing your blocks like I'm doing here. So back with the Mellow bow. Oh dear, made a right mess on that one. Look. Do you know what? Sometimes the small stamps are easy and other times they are really flipping fiddly. It doesn't help when you stick it on your ink pad too hard though. That has a big effect on the outcome. There we go, that's it. Right, line that up. I can't remember which way I was stamping now. Can you? Looks like it was going that way, I think. That's close enough. There we go. Now, because that is so small in the centre this time, I'm not going to be using an ink pad. I'm actually going to use, sorry about that crash, my Stampin' Right markers. Which one should we go for? I think I'll just go for, good grief, I think that might be being picked up on the camera. I'm just going to stop filming for a minute. Right, I think they've stopped. I hope they've stopped anyway. Let's get this finished, shall we? So we'll pop some leaves on and we're going to do the same as we did before. So some old olive. Whoop. Get your ink everywhere you shouldn't do again. Just stamp a couple of leaves just around the outside of your flowers. Put that one there, shall we? Oop, a little bit too close there. Never mind, that'll be all right. And then, as before again, Pear Pizzazz, where are you? Buried under all the stuff on the desk. Take that one off. And we're going to use, where is it? This one here. This is the one that goes in the middle of our mini leaves. So we'll pop that on. There we go. So that's the inside of the card. And I'm also, shall I? Yes, I shall. I'm going to duplicate that pattern on the outside. Yeah, I'm going to duplicate that on the outside of the envelope. I should have thought about that to begin with, really, shouldn't I? Because I could have done it all at the same time. Where have we gone? Melon Mambo, come back. Right, let's just do that again. So one that way, one that way. Where's the inside of that flower gone? I'm doing it a bit cockeyed this time, so, and I'm doing it very quickly as well, just so that I can catch up with myself. You've seen me doing it once, I'm sure you don't really need to see me doing all those ones again, do you? So it's just onto the envelope. Whoop, go over there please. And then let's get rid of that one, because I don't know what it is about Melon Mambo, but it kind of attracts my hand to it, and I'm really good at sticking my hands in it. Right, what's this one? Old Olive. Pop some of those on. Oops, looks like I've done a little smudgy bit there, doesn't it? I don't think that's really going to matter, you know. This is what I say about this. Oh look, that's what I was trying not to do. Never mind. This is what I like about this stamp set. Because of the design of it, even when you do make a little mistake like that, it really doesn't matter that much, because it's not actually very noticeable. There we go. Oh, I haven't done the pink pirouette bit, have I? Let's put that bit in as well. And then I would have caught up with myself properly. Well, try and get it in the flower, obviously, not over to the side like that. Looks a little bit bizarre. Right, but anyway, that's my envelope done as well. Back to my centre. I'm going to go back onto Cottage Greetings. This time, I hope your day is wonderful. I'm going to put that on my long block. Da, 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 block H. And ink up again in the grey. And we're going to go, whoops, didn't stick that on very straight then, did I? That's better. I'm actually going to go to the side, I think, rather than in the middle. I'm going to go over to the side, just to give it a little bit more interest. There we go. How's that? That looks quite good, doesn't it? Even if I do say so myself. Right, let's get this stuck in the middle of our card. There's our card. There we go. Let's use a bit of snail today, shall we? Whoops. Double-sided tape in a handy little contraption, not contraction. Contraption. I don't know what I've got that there for still, don't need that. Right, line it up nice and straight. There we go. There. How nice is that? A nice thank you card. Hope your day's wonderful, that I've just smudged. Whoopsie daisy, never mind. And a pretty matching envelope. What do you think? Do you like that? I think that's really nice, actually. I wouldn't mind receiving that myself in the post. So if anybody would like to make me one and send it to me, it would be gratefully received. Right, everything I've used today, as always, is going to be on my blog. The actual link to the blog post is going to be in the notes under the video. If you need anything, or if you want to make one yourself, I would love to see it. You can always drop me a line to lee@thecraftyspark.co.uk, or you could even visit my Facebook page and pop a little picture on there, because, like I say, I do like to see everyone else's creations as well. So that's it for today. I will see you again soon. Enjoy your day.